Imagine if we were actually professional, it'd be way worse.
Oh god, yeah.
Way worse shit. All right, you ready?
Should be going live now.
Well, I've started streaming. Not that level of I'm ready. I'm not like recording for the podcast.
Yeah.
Stuff.
And we are live, yeah.
Okay, great. Give me just a hot sec. By the way, real quick, for anyone listening in Twitch chat, just because I know there's a lot of new people, because you may still be hanging around from the Warhammer stuff, I have alerts and everything turned off and muted. So please, for the podcast, sit, crisscross applesauce, and behave. All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of LOREBEARDS. We probably should have taken this Sunday off after doing the episode with Andy on Friday, but we're stupid, so here we are. I hope you're all doing well. We have a couple of really exciting things to talk about today. It's definitely not going to be our busiest episode. I think me and Nathan are both kind of worn down with Total War Warhammer 3's release literally a few days away. And we had the big interview with Andy Hall. That was a ton of fun, and we hope you all really, really enjoyed it and got to learn a lot of really cool information about the game. In any event, Nathan, how have you been in the last 3 days?
Tired, very tired. So much to do before release, and just so much to do in general. But overall good. Overall good. Just focusing on my addiction to coffee more than anything. How about you?
I am doing okay. Yesterday was rough. I had a rough day yesterday. Was supposed to play in that tournament. And I was fighting a losing battle yesterday.
Yeah.
But today has been going much better. So I am sad I didn't play in yesterday's tournament, but I am looking forward to the multiplayer coming out. I intend on doing some multiplayer streams and trying to play it as much as I can. Should be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But today's going better. And last night, very late, when I did finally get up, I did go out with my friends and finish celebrating my birthday, which was lovely. So had a great time, and I actually got to eat some like exciting food. My ulcer was a little upset, but like compared to, because I've just finished my first month of treatment. So prior to that, if I tried to have eaten nachos, which is what I had, it would have been bad. But last night there was a little spiciness, but as far as my ulcer was concerned, but it was not nearly awful, which was great.
Cool.
We watched a horror film and had a good time. It was great.
Nice.
In any event, there is so much to do today. But let's go ahead and get started with Tale of Two Gamers. So me and Nathan have something to confess, which is that due to various circumstances, we were not able to finish a hero model for today. But we're both very close. So we're going to give ourselves a week extension, and we're both going to blame Andy Hall for it since he's not here to defend himself. And but we did both put some minis available for us to look at. But without any further ado, let's check out the Twitter page. Also, hallelujah, I'm out of Twitter jail. Finally. I'm free. I'm free at last, my god. Alright, so first mini up is mine. I did not paint this, but it is a mini in my collection that I'm very proud of, and I like to show it off at any opportunity, so I decided to post it for today. This is my fully evolved form of Teheniwin as an engine on his Engine of the Gods mount that was painted by Palooka Paints, who you can follow on Twitch. And if you haven't, you are a fool and should be following him on Twitch, because as you can see, he is an incredibly gifted painter.
Yeah.
It's a gorgeous model. It's got a whole bunch of kit bashing. It's got the snake creatures that are winding around Teheniwin's arms, and in front of him are from the Chaos Warcry set, the Serpent's Fangs, I think they're called. Or Splintered Fang, the Splintered Fang tribe. And then most of the models' design, of course, is from the Engine of the Gods kit. I've also got the snake things from the Bastillodon. And then the snake swarms you see along the ground are also from the Splintered Fang kit. And there's also a couple of other serpents scattered around from the Cold Rider set. And it's a glorious model. It really is.
Very, very cool, really.
Next up, we've got Hawk Oddly coming in with a Gracier of the Horned Rat. and says that he's trying a little bit of OSL, which OSL, for anyone that's not aware of kind of like painting words, it's basically like creating lighting effects. So as you can see here, with like his, there's a little bit of like lighting effects going on, like the horns and like from the little orb he's holding and stuff. But Hawk, you're making some great progress, my dude.
Very, very nice.
It is all coming along super nicely.
These is this resin, right? This is this would be fine cast, isn't it?
I don't know. If he's in chat, he might know. I mean, this is the Gracier from the. Oh, what kit is this guy from? Might be Forge World. I'm not sure.
He's single, I think. This is a single mini, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. The cloaks looks like. No, you're right. Yeah, you're right. The cloak keeps throwing me off because it makes me think of the one on the Screaming Bell. But yeah. Yeah, Haunchi. Yeah, it's not the one from the Bell. So yeah, maybe this is the fine cast one. In which case, like, oh man, even bigger. Forking with resin's always a pain. But Hawk Godly, if you're watching, great job, my dude. I would recommend maybe checking out some washes to really add like another level of flair to the mini. Like they're super easy to use. Just checking out like getting ones that are similar, especially for like the robes. Getting like maybe a Druchii Violet. I think that's the color. It can just add a lot of really cool depth, especially in those little like folds in the robe.
This is awesome. Interesting. It's no longer resin; it's plastic now.
Oh yeah. Hawk is in chat. It's a plastic single. It's a blister. I guess it's a blister, I would assume, but it's a plastic mini.
Nice.
It's great. All right, next up we got Nathan.
So, as people know, I'm working on doing battle reports again. And people were asking me to play as Tomb Kings because, for the first one, because, it's the worst army in 8th. So I'm showing off about a third of my total Tomb Kings. I've been repainting, fixing, and so on. I've had a friend help me up with some fixing too. What you're seeing is, about a third. So 2 chariots at the moment, about 17 horses. I've got a catapult at the background, bone giant, a bunch of skeletal warriors mixed up between swords, sword and board, bows, spears. You've got some characters over there, some Lich Priests, some Necrotect, and so on. And there's a
Casket of Souls makes me happy.
Yeah, I really like them. I like the mini. Like it's not the best picture because I've just literally taken it now in a panic, but I realized I need a bigger one of these display cases, the ones from IKEA, because like that's a third of my Tomb Kings. I have a lot more to finish, and like the chariots take a lot of space. I didn't realize they were that big, and that's only 2 chariots when I have I think I have like 24.
Beautiful. Hey, like it's not a Tomb King army unless you have an obsessive amount of chariots.
Oh yeah, like I've got it's a bit of a mix because I actually have one which is the standard army book color, the light blue and gold. You can see a few of them with the purple cloth because I was actually going to have one specifically tailored for Ark in the Black. And then a custom Tomb Kingdom, which is obviously the one with the blue bows.
Very cool, very cool. It's looking great, man. I can't wait to see the full army.
Thank you. It's been a hassle.
Next up, Danavir coming in with Drosta, the Celestial Spear. And, oh god, I love this mini. Oh, I love this mini, and I love this paint job.
It's very cool.
Oh man, the robe turned out super nice. So did the feathers. The feathers look and the armor. I mean, everything on this looks really good. So does the stone. My stone does not look that good, and it makes me sad.
How'd you get a white cloak so clean?
I don't know. He used some sort of black magic, because that is like super clean. That is beautiful. It's funny that white is like genuinely the most terrifying color when painting minis.
So cool.
It looks fantastic. Like you did a great job with all the model. Love the basing. Love the colors. The wings turned out really nice. There's actually a pretty solid gradient between the wings that are kind of near like the bone leading all the way out. And Drosta is a great model. She is an absolutely fantastic model. Good rules too.
Yeah.
Thank you, Danavir. All right, next up we've got Haunchi. And Hanchi has sent us, oh god, I forget what her name is. Holga Halfhorn, I think?
Clovenhorn.
But this is a mini he actually won in a giveaway from me. And so it was a limited edition mini that was released in a number of stores across the world.
Mm-hmm.
And I got it when I went down to the big tournament in Austin. And I did a giveaway for it, and he won it, and he's painted it up, and it looks amazing. Oh, there it is. Holga Clovenhorn. There we go. Holga, not Helga. And he did a spectacular job.
Yeah, she's very
Way to go, dude. Yeah, I love. It's a great mini. Man, he did a really, really good job, especially in the armor. Like, the lines are super clean. The boots look really good, too. He's got good highlights. Very nice highlights. Great job, dude. Glad to see it is in happy hands and getting painted. Rowan the Accused coming at us with a Commander Nomura and the Crimson Leveler. Damn.
Nice. I love Farsight stuff. Is just really, really cool.
I refuse to believe this was painted. This was clearly bought out of a toy box and assembled. I do not believe in any way, shape, or form that this was painted. Lies and slander.
It's very, very clean.
That is the only reason I can tell it's actually painted is because, like, on the second image, I can see some of the highlighting on one of the rims. But, like, damn. Oh, look at the character. Oh, I love that color scheme. That, like, maroon red with gray. That's a good looking mini. Damn. You should be super proud of that. I mean, every time Rowan posts, his shit is gorgeous, but like, goddamn, son.
4 layers of corn red, all super thin down. Holy crap.
It looks great. It looks upsettingly great. I hate Rowan. Posting all this crap I gotta look at. It's so good. And then... Okay, I think we're still going. Yeah. Florian Naratio, sorry. Sending in his Lord of Afflictions. And he painted his Rotfly as a wasp. That's because, nice. You know, a Rotfly wasn't bad enough. He had to make it a wasp. Oh, that's a really good Nurgle color scheme. The wasp.
Yeah, it fits really well.
Oh, I don't like it. It's like in a good way. I don't like it. I mean, man, he's getting such good work out of those contrast paints too. They look super duper good on the bug monster, the Rotfly. I don't know. I don't know this guy's rules off the top of my head, but I imagine hopefully he's decent in the new book, because Nurgle did just get a new army book about a month and a half ago, maybe 2 months. But seems to be doing well for him. But looks great, man. Looks absolutely fantastic. Metallics look great. The rust effect on the scythe looks really, really good. Really good, actually. Yeah, looks great. Very nice. And then Jay Phoenix sending in Commissar Yarrick. The man himself.
I love Yarrick. He's such a cool mini. Oh, with some Steel Legion too. Nice.
Oh yeah, he's got I love his goofy ass power claw. That thing is so silly. He's
quite the interesting character, honestly. I'm a big fan of Yarrick. I think he's really fucking cool. That's great. Steel Legion is one of the things that I just get really pissed off, because obviously we're dealing with just Cadians, and then you've got really cool miniatures like this, you know? I wish we had more Steel Legion stuff.
Someone in chat's like, yes, the best orc.
He is. He's got war energy. Man. He's got war energy. He can do damage.
It's a great mini. Like, it's definitely an older mini, but it's held up super duper well. Awesome. Okay, and then February 7th, I believe.
We got one more here from
from Hawk Oddly. We got a Fleet Master. I love this mini. Those Sea Dragon cloaks are so badass.
Yeah.
I wish I had one. I always find it hilarious they have a peg leg. Like, I know he's a pirate, but like an elf with a peg leg is just silly to me. But I love the Sea Dragon cloaks. Sea Dragon cloaks are so kick-ass. Ah, they're great. They're lovely. I love it. It's great. Beautiful. Wonderful.
Anything to do with like the Corsairs and stuff, they look cool, but I just can't, like, if I bring him, I have to bring Corsairs, and then ranking up Corsairs is like wanting to cry and die, and you know, the usual bullshit, because the moment you rank up more than 5, they blow up. Ugh. Great.
Yep. And I know some people down in chat saying they posted some minis on the Discord. Duly noted. We will get those next week because I have to put them somewhere special.
Yeah.
All right. So that is it for Tale of Two Gamers. Me and Nathan will be finishing a character for next week.
We hope.
Though for those who actually did their jobs, unlike us, let's go ahead and switch the theme for our listeners. What do you think the next theme should be, Nathan?
I don't know. Something magical, I guess.
Something magical or psychery.
Yeah.
So a psyker, a wizard, a magical creature, an elemental, something that uses magic. That's your theme.
I think that would work
And
for everyone.
you'll have like a month. You get a month.
Yeah.
it'll be due in March.
It's been very difficult for us to catch up because of all the, like, after Warhammer 3 releases, we're likely going to go to hibernation for like a day or two.
Yeah. Probably more like a week or two, and just come out for very brief things.
Yeah.
All right. I would actually like to take this moment to... Actually, we'll do it at the end. Okay, chat, we need your help. Both chats. So Nathan's going to be watching his chat. I'm going to be watching my chat. We need your help. Because things have been a little chaotic this week, we have not gotten a who would win. We don't have a matchup. So we will be taking live requests of a who would win. It could be anybody, as long as it's fantasy characters. Who would win? Someone versus someone. And we're both just going to watch the chat. And if one of us sees something really cool, we're going to go, this versus this sounds cool. And then we'll do that.
We're very professional, as you can see.
Yep. Totally prepared. I didn't forget about it. I've just been busy, okay?
What about something Warhammer 3 related? I'm seeing... There's some cool ones here. Like, there's Kataryn versus Meow. Nagash versus Be'lakor might be cool, too. Gork versus Mork.
I've got a... What do you think about... Oh, we got Rakarth the Beast Lord, or Beastmaster, or Beast Lord, whatever his name is, versus Wulfric the Wanderer. That's kind of interesting. Zhao Ming versus Balthazar Gelt.
Grimgor versus Grimgor. There's quite a lot here.
Tic-tac-toe versus Be'lakor. We already know how that ends. We already know how that one ends.
It was
Tic-tac-toe wins.
Yeah, it was a
every
big
time.
fucking rock, wasn't it? This might be interesting. Kostaltyn versus Volkmar. They're both pretty much the same dude, essentially.
I'm down. All right. Kostaltyn, the Supreme Patriarch, versus Volkmar the Grim, the Grand Theogenist.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm down. So, for this matchup, we've got a new character versus a well-established one. So let's start with the new character because it's easier and there's less to go over. So Kostaltyn, we know, is the Supreme Patriarch of Kislev's Great Orthodoxy. He has that position because he is the High Priest of Ursun, and so the Ursunite cult has the most authority, and that he was able to kind of nab that position. The thing about Kostaltyn, things that we need to keep in mind when it comes to his powers, is that Kostaltyn is incredibly durable. The dude is insanely tough. And from a pure lore standpoint, reading the actual lore blurbs we get as a part of Warhammer 3, he has been dealt wounds that would probably kill a normal man, and he's fine. He just keeps going. Basically, his firebrand nature, his hate, his fanaticism allows him to just endure agonizing pain, and Urson has granted him healing abilities, because he does actually heal and regenerate when he's close to death. He just kind of keeps going. He has this sort of almost divine healing powering him. Furthermore, he does carry the Burning Brazier, which is this insane, massive beat stick of a mace that he carries that, as the name implies, is burning. And the head of the mace is actually like a full church-looking thing with like a little bear on it. It's very ornate. But he uses it to beat people to death. It augments his strength, and obviously acts as a focal point for his faith. As far as the prayers he brings into battle, we know that he unleashes. He can literally shout with Urson's roar, which kind of like stirs him up into a fanaticism. Him and his bear. We will give him his bear for this fight. That way he doesn't get run over by the the cart. So he's gonna have a war bear. He's got his. So he's got the Urson's roar. He has he's got the power of Soliak's mercy he's able to call upon, which heals him. He can call upon Tor, which basically adds basically it makes his swing so fast and strong. It's like being hit by thunder, hit with a lightning bolt. And then you of course have Daz, which Daz's power allows him to just it reinvigorates him with all of that glorious power of the sun god, and allows him to just keep fighting at his absolute peak throughout the battle. And then on the other side of things, we have the Grand Theogenist himself, Volkmar the Grim, everyone's favorite mustache twirling bald man, who will be riding into battle on his legendary cart, the War Altar of Sigmar, which was blessed by Magnus the Pious, particularly the statue on the back of it, which allows it to, Volkmar can literally channel divine power through it to summon a damn banishment. He can unleash a pretty nasty, powerful light spell that will deal a pretty significant amount of damage. Granted, it's much better against kind of like unholy or magical things than it is someone like Kostaltyn, but it's still going to hurt. And of course, the cart itself is drawn by horses, and it's very durable. Volkmar has a number of magic items that make him very, very nasty. He carries a big hammer in his hands that he uses to beat people, and it tends to be on fire. He also has the Staff of Command, which is a sign of his office. Is it Staff of Command? I think that's right.
I think so.
And it also greatly augments his strength. Volkmar is, of course, an older man. I believe he's in his 60s, if I remember right. And the Staff of Command basically allows him to swing with all of the might that he held in his youth as a warrior priest. So despite the fact he's a little on the older side, he still hits like a truck. Then, of course, he has the Jade Griffin, which the Jade Griffin is a marvelous device on his chest that grants him regeneration. It makes him regenerate very, very well. However, it does grant him true regeneration, which means that Volkmar is sensitive to fire coming from enemies, if memory serves. And then we have, of course, his own prayers that he brings into battle. Volkmar is able to call upon a Shield of Faith, which literally will turn aside enemies' blows and block them as if there was a wall there. If he calls upon it at the right time, it protects him with divine power. He's able to call upon the Wrath of Sigmar the Hammer of Sigmar to lend might to his own blows, and he can call upon the last prayer that my brain is struggling with that makes it rain fire everywhere. Literally cause a swath of divine fire to rain down from above and scorch his enemies.
Stupid book. You'd think everything would be in the right place, right? I've got the army.
So, Grand Soulfire, thank you. So, that is our matchup. The way I see it standing, here's the situation. Volkmar does have superior strength, thanks to the Staff of Command. It makes him very, very strong. You know, it makes him kind of the height of his strength back when he was a big warrior priest. He also, they both are very good at healing. Granted, Volkmar's only source of healing is the Jade Griffin, which is nullified by fire. Which is going to be a problem, because Kostaltyn wields a big old flaming mace. Big old flaming mace. And Kostaltyn, while he kind of has his own form of regeneration, he has a form of healing that is not harmed by fire, which I don't think his regular one is anyway, but he has Solyak's Mercy, which Solyak also will heal him, and that is not at all hurt by fire. That being said, on Kostaltyn, so Kostaltyn has a huge bonus there, in that he can heal, Volkmar cannot in this matchup. However, Volkmar does have kind of, I think, a broader use of prayers, where he has one prayer that can literally burn Kostaltyn and his bear and hurt them. He has another prayer that makes his strikes guided and more accurate. And he has, he also has a prayer that can literally cause him and the War Altar to be far more resistant to damage. So it's a very, very tricky. But Kostaltyn is running a bear, and a bear is traditionally a much better combatant than the War Altar. The War Altar is very nasty when it gets in that charge, but a bear is absolutely going to mangle those horses. Of course, there is a bonus warrior priest hanging out in the back of the War Altar who can bonk some people. So this is a tricky one. The two of them, I think if Volkmar had his full regeneration, I think he would absolutely be able to overwhelm Kostaltyn. But without that, this is tough. I'm going to go ahead and start the poll on my channel.
Yep. I'll try and do the same here. Ooh.
Oh, one of my mods got it for me. Thank you, mods. Nathan, what are your thoughts?
It's going to be quite close. The thing is, obviously, like, Volkmar we know is really, really, really strong. Like, if we go back to, say, for example, like, Storm of Chaos stuff, even when Be'lakor had his claws all over him, like, he was able to fight back, you know? It's going to be really tough. You have to think about it both ways. Like, Kostaltyn has been a bit of a menace to me recently. He killed Chlamydia, man. He killed Chlamydia.
What?
I had a stream that we were naming my exalted keepers and my heralds.
That sounds like a good thing.
She fought hard, man, but the poor thing. I mean, right now I'd say I might have to go with Volkmar purely because how much we know he's capable of, and even with surprising methods, like he was able to. Did he manage to banish Be'lakor near the end of Storm of Chaos?
I don't.
I know he beat the. I know he beat the thing when he was. Remember when he was turned into a banner?
Yeah, but like Storm of Chaos, we'll give him like half credit because like it's not the timeline we're in, but we'll give him half credit.
Yeah, I mean, I'd have to go if we're allowing that. I'm going to have to go with Volkmar purely because he has been very surprising. Kostaltyn, on the other hand, I mean, it's very close. This is the problem when you put Battle Priest versus Battle Priest, you know. I'm going to go with Volkmar. My heart says Volkmar. My heart says that the old dude still got it and he's able to slap hard, man.
Okay, and I do think there's some reasonable evidence for that. As far as, like, Volkmar would be hitting really hard. I mean, the Staff of Command does not mess around. He could absolutely hurt Kostaltyn very badly, and his bear. Like, he hits hard. However, as is the tradition on here, especially when it's just the two of us, I'm going to take the contrarian opinion. I think Kostaltyn is going to win purely because he is just a tank. And with him negating Volkmar's regeneration by hitting him with the Burning Brazier, he's going to be able to keep sustaining. Like, the closer Kostaltyn gets to being dead as Volkmar, like, hits him and, like, maybe, you know, cracks some ribs or whatever and all this stuff, Kostaltyn's just going to get harder and harder to kill the closer he gets to death. Not to mention, he can call upon Salyak throughout the fight, when possible, to heal himself further. Whereas Volkmar, any damage he takes the entirety of the fight is going to stick. So, and I think they're kind of very evenly matched in a lot of ways. So I think because of that, I'm going to give it to Kostaltyn.
Yeah.
But my chat disagreed with me, with 59% of the vote going to Volkmar the Grim.
I've got 61% going to Volkmar. I think it's the mustache. Everyone just loves Volkmar's mustache.
It is a glorious mustache, let's be real.
It needs to be recolored in Total War Warhammer, though.
I know, it's supposed to be white.
Exactly. You know, he's old.
He's an old man. He's an old man.
There's no hair dye in Warhammer.
It's dignified. All right, so that's going to be it for who would win today. Sorry, I got a little thing in my eye here. So let's go ahead and move on to the next subject and start kind of getting into the major subjects for today. And the first we're going to do is I'm just going to do a very, very brief update for people that care about this aspect of the hobby, which is I'm going to talk about AOS for just a moment. Of course, I do have a major tournament coming up this upcoming Saturday, which I will be talking about quite a bit. The LOREBEARDS after, so next week. And, though we may have to have LOREBEARDS at a different time, now that I think about it, next week. Or we may have to, well, we'll figure it out. Because now that I think about it, it's a grand tournament, so I'll probably be, at the time LOREBEARDS would normally be, I think I will be playing games.
Ooh.
But in any event, there's been some really exciting updates for Age of Sigmar. We, of course, have some new books coming out. INF Deepkin and Fire Slayers are just around the corner, and the books are looking very exciting. The Fire Slayers have a bunch of glorious new rules. Their new runes are vastly superior. Because Fire Slayers, of course, hammer the runes of Grimnir into their flesh, their Urgold runes, and they could activate them during battle for buffs. And they used to be trash buffs, but now they're actually really sexy buffs. They're very, very good. They have an army-wide ward save they can activate once per game, which is pretty hot.
Wow.
They also got a new heroic action where their characters can guarantee get the upgraded version of a rune, where normally when you activate a rune, you have to roll a dice on a 6-up, you get the upgraded version instead of the regular version. But they have a heroic action where their characters can just say, screw that roll, I'm going to go ahead and just get the upgraded version, which is very, very cool. We're still waiting for a little bit more information on the INF Deepkin, but their new character is very strong, making Namarti actually good. And then the Beasts of Chaos, the Beastmen, are getting a huge White Dwarf update, and it is a big one. Every single Beasts of Chaos monster, well, most of them, now have a unique monstrous action, which is insanely cool. So the Gorgon can do something unique, the Jabberslythe can do something unique, the Chimera can do something unique, and the Cygor can do something unique. The Cygor can now eat endless spells. The Gorgon can literally pick up and eat someone and to heal itself. The Jabberslythe can make people around it go crazy and kill themselves. And the Chimera can get like a ton of bonus damage as it just lashes out with all of its attacks against a singular target.
Are those not Warhammer Fantasy rules? Are those not Warhammer Fantasy rules?
I mean, kind of.
Yeah,
but they're different in AOS, but there were versions of those, sort of, that existed in fantasy.
I'm watching you, AOS devs.
So very exciting stuff, and of course they're getting a bunch of new rules. The Herdstone got so much better. The Herdstone used to be absolute shit. Now it's amazing. Because it used to be that it didn't do anything unless you were within 6 inches of it on turn 1, and then 12 inches on turn 2, and then 18 inches, then 24 inches, etc. And it was useless otherwise, which was garbage. Now, just by having a Hearthstone on the battle, all Beasts of Chaos models on the entire table get +1 armor piercing, which is nuts. And there's even something you can do that's skipping my brain at the moment, but there's something you can do to get it up to a -2 to enemy armor, which is so strong. And they changed it. It still has that expanding aura, but now the expanding aura just helps with your leadership stuff.
So Beastmen are good now.
It's looking that way.
Okay, so now
the Gorgon can get rend of -4, which is kind of insane. that's insane.
Okay, so now I want to make people very incredibly paranoid for at least a minute. Remember, the last time the Beastmen got an update through any setting, the world blew up afterwards.
It's a White Dwarf magazine. It's not the same.
Yeah, it's a supplement.
This just in, AOS end times coming to a store near you. So that's it for AOS news. Just wanted to cover some light stuff.
Yeah.
I'll have some more information after my tournament this weekend because it's gonna be the first time I've played in a hot minute. And I assume I'm gonna get my ass kicked, but I'm gonna do my best.
That's always fun.
All right. That being said, let's talk Total War. So, as you all know, Total War Warhammer comes out in 4 days. Less than 4 days, as of right now. So, I'm sure everyone in chat is losing their shit. Everyone listening to this podcast is losing their shit because, of course, that's insanely exciting. I'm sure all of you, or at least most of you, have been watching me and Nathan play Total War Warhammer, if not watching other creators. And it's nearly in your hands, guys. Yeah. It's nearly here.
It's not long now.
And me and Nathan will be, of course, allowed to play the Ogre Kingdom starting tomorrow, live. And, of course, you'll see lots of videos about the Ogre Kingdoms. And we will be able to release reviews starting tomorrow. So tomorrow will be the big day when all the gaming companies, or magazines and content creators will be releasing our reviews and our thoughts on the game. So please look forward to that. There's a lot to discuss when that happens. But that's for next time. For this time, there is one new thing that has happened that we can talk about today on LOREBEARDS, which is Slaanesh. Nathan, go for it.
So, well, you know, the best Chaos God is finally playable by creators, and there's been a lot going on. I mean, hell, I only stream usually for about 3.5 hours, but I've been doing 6 hours plus anytime I've had the chance. It's very different to what most people should be aware of, obviously. I would have to say power level wise, Slaanesh is probably the weakest.
I don't know. Slaanesh is kind of nuts, in my opinion.
There's a few issues. I mean, having no heavy armor front line is a bit weak. Law of Magic could be a little bit better, and right now the chariots are kind of scuffed. Like every other creator is saying it too. Like, the chariots are a little scuffed.
The chariots they're a little odd.
Yeah.
They do a lot of health damage. Like, they're great for softening a target. They don't tend to get a lot of kills.
Yeah.
But, I mean, they'll do a lot of health damage. It's a little weird. I'm not sure how it's calculating it.
Yeah.
But I would personally say that I think Slaanesh is probably one of the strongest as far as, what you can... the potential of the others is certainly quite high. But the thing about Slaanesh is... you can generate devotees so damn fast. It is obscene.
Oh, yeah.
And, using, as Slaanesh, you get double commandments in your provinces because you got a regular commandment. So, you take over a province and you can use the little, you can choose, you slow down enemy 20%, make diseases harder to spread, or you get more income and cheaper buildings, etc. But he also has... these little things you can use where you sacrifice devotees and maybe some money, and you get a shitload of growth, a bunch of bonus income. You can reduce recruitment costs by 25%, get +2 recruitment ranks. It's insane. And you don't even have to own the whole province to do that. You just got to have a single settlement. You can start doing that.
Devotees will be a fast generation. It is so centered on everything.
The thing about Slaanesh is you just click that proliferate cults button and just build the one that generates 5 devotees every turn.
Yeah.
And you can get I think right now I'm generating something like 300 to 400 devotees per turn.
Yeah, same more or less. If you can keep remembering to do that, you can just pretty much have cults around the whole map without an issue.
And Slaanesh is the only one who can spawn cultists where his cults show up. So they can go on to spawn more cults. And it gets insane. And being able to force vassalization on factions is so strong.
I've had an issue with that myself.
I got a bunch of Norskins very, very quickly. So I was running around with war mammoths in my armies, which are very strong comboed with Slaanesh. And it's like, oh, if you want armor, you can literally just vassalize the hell out of the Warriors of Chaos, and then you got Chaos Warriors running around everywhere. And my chat was watching. I think my stream, I just got to turn 100, or I'm right around turn 100, and I finally vassalized the Wood Elves. I got them. I fully corrupted the Wood Elves. I forced them into vassalization, and I will be able to recruit Way Watchers into my army. Oh, so I'm so excited. It's so juicy.
See, you're having a good time with the vassal stuff. I am having the complete opposite, because one vassal of mine is just deciding to cause me issues left, right, and center. I've ended up at war, like, I think by turn 50, I've ended up in the This Is Total War just without wanting to be in a This Is Total War.
Who did you vassalize?
The Greylings, those fuckers got me into everything. Next thing I know, I'm like, and thing is, I decided, because I was listening to my chat, so I've ended up in Wissenland, right? So Nakari is now the erect account of Wissenland, right?
What are you doing in Wissenland?
I've just decided to say, fuck it, let's teleport
down here.
There's
nothing good in Wissenland.
the vampire counts are almost gone. Everyone's just fighting everywhere. I had to leave Norska. I just had to leave Norska. Katerin's gone on a full-on genocide against anything, right?
Yeah.
And this is all because of just one vassal getting into fucking shit with everyone else.
See, I didn't have that problem at all. Like, none of my vassals have started fights. I think the only time a fight started with my vassals was the regular undivided Chaos Army attacked my vassal, and I thought about it and I was like, no, my vassal's more useful to me because they're paying me money every turn, like a good amount of money too. Like even like a single settlement was still giving me like 400 gold a turn, and I was like, I really like these Norskin units I'm getting, so I was like, no, I'm gonna like, so I ended up vassalizing like nearly all of Norska, so like all the different tribes are under my control. Like anytime I can vassalize someone, I do. And I even have been sending Nakari around places to awaken factions, because he could do that. If he attacks the capital of a dead faction, he can resurrect them as a vassal, which I resurrected the Greenskins. I went, you know, the spider tribe that's in Norska. I didn't mean to. It was just a settle, and I was like, oh, I'll vassalize, and I resurrected the orcs. So I had orc vassals. I am having a ton of fun with it. And the thing for me is I was actually using my vassals a lot. So like every time I would vassalize, because I was generating so many allegiance points, I would literally just check in on them, and whenever they had a big army, I would take control of their armies. So I would take control of their army and have their army follow me around. So like Nakari was reinforced by 2 Norskin stacks that cost me 0 upkeep, because they were the AI's armies, not mine. And I was also running around, like, or I was using them, like, I would have like a faction I wanted to trade a settlement with. So I would take over one of my vassals, have the vassal army I took over conquer a settlement, which meant it was my settlement, and then I would trade that settlement to a different faction for something I wanted. So, like, I've been having a ball. Like, I am shocked how much I'm enjoying Slaanesh.
No, it's a very enjoyable faction. I mean, I did RCA, and we couldn't freely admit, like, the first thing I did as soon as I got access to the game was play Slaanesh. Like, it's literally first thing. And I've been playing it constantly. I've been doing the streams too. Like the streams is obviously less playing professionally in a sense, because obviously at that point I'm just having fun with everyone and so on. I mean,
like you're there to entertain, not to like.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, we have a Herald of Slaanesh guarding Wissenland at the moment, whilst Franz is protecting the entrance to Wissenland, and she's called Belle Delphine. You know.
Nice. Nice.
Like it's just having a little bit of fun. I must admit, it's very much how I expected Slaanesh to play, because obviously, if anyone played Mono God lists back in the day for Warhammer Fantasy VIII, just pure Slaanesh demons, which was very difficult, it's what you expect. You're a glass cannon, but you're very, very fast, and you're able to move around your enemy without too much of an issue. And it's, if you can get the hit first, you're striking hard, you know. And
yeah,
it was a good faction.
Yeah, they're very strong. Slaanesh, lots of armor piercing, lots of poison, fast. Like Nakari, if like you could easily get Nakari to like 150 speed. Like he is so fast.
I've got him with just skill points, no extra augments by items. He's on 138, I think.
Yeah, I think I have him at 150 for some reason. I don't remember what it is. It's giving me a little bonus boost. But yeah, if you pop Foe Seeker, he goes up to like 165. Like he is obscenely fast. And like now that I've seen him that fast, it's great. Like they all have gorgeous animations and the dialogue. Like there are some risque lines when you're like if you're playing Slaanesh at home, make sure you're wearing headphones. Make sure nobody else is in the room. They'll be thinking you're up to something.
There's it is done, which is something I thought was done very well. They've clearly gone old Hammer style, like 6th edition style, where they're putting in the innuendos and all that stuff. I was worried that wasn't going to happen, but like,
bro, have you gotten the safe word dialogue line?
Yeah,
that I literally lost my shit when I heard that. You will never know the safe word. It's like, whoa, what the fuck? I can't say that.
Well, there's a lot of things which are just a bit like, how is this not going to get like a higher rating? Like, I mean, you've seen the walls in the realm of Slaanesh, right?
Oh yeah,
like
they're spicy.
Yeah, they're pretty spicy. I'm looking at them going, oh wow, you know.
Hey, maybe the censors are too stupid to look at the walls. They only look at the units.
Yeah.
I mean, we got Greater Demons of Nurgle literally crapping out Nurglings, so
yeah.
I mean, what does it matter, right? Yeah, Slaanesh is great. I also really like his tech tree. Like he has a bunch of excellent techs. Like compared to like Nurgle, I don't really like Nurgle's tech tree that much.
Yeah.
I feel like Nurgle's tech tree is very underwhelming. Slaanesh's is kick ass. Like it is a very, very strong tech tree. And you have access to almost the entire thing right away. Like there's only half of it is locked behind buildings, but 2 of those buildings you get like super early. Yeah. Or relatively quick. The last one is a tier 5. That one takes a bit. But like you can get like 10% upkeep reduction on every single unit type. You can get plus income. You get like way more cultists or devotees through various methods. You can get like just crazy buffs.
There's it's a very fast progressing campaign with Slaanesh, at least if you're playing, I'd say kind of optimally, because you do take a lot of territories quite quick. The only thing is obviously you do have that doorstop because Scarbrand is right next to you.
Yeah, but I mean, one of the systems I love about Slaanesh is the Gift of Slaanesh system. So if you throw a hero or beat someone in a fight, but throwing a hero at them is easier. If you throw a hero at someone and they do any successful action, it will infect them with a Gift of Slaanesh, which is a permanent debuff that makes it easier to seduce their units. Which, for anyone that hasn't seen it, you can seduce units with Slaanesh, which means when you get the battle is starting screen, you can see their army, and based on how much money you have and how big their army is and how big your seduce budget is, which you can increase through various ways, you can literally just be like, oh, you know what? I'm gonna buy your archers, and you literally just steal their archers for the battle. And if you kill them, hey, like if the army dies, they don't get their archers back. Or if you suicide that unit into the enemy, they don't get that unit back. So it is an insanely powerful mechanic. So the Gift of Slaanesh on an enemy makes that mechanic cheaper to use, and it also debuffs them if they fight you. So like if you gift Scarbrand, it makes it more difficult for him to fight you, and if he does fight you, you can steal more of his units. Like it's really strong.
Pretty much, yes.
It's very nasty. But yeah, like Scarbrand, I literally just like whipped Scarbrand into submission, and he begged me for a peace treaty, and he hasn't bothered me since.
Yeah, it's weird that could happen, because that happened to me too. I'm like, this Scarbrand though, he shouldn't be asking for peace. He should literally be throwing stacks. And I did have a bit of an odd thing where I just kept getting small stacks of Cornate Demons getting thrown at me, probably trying to just slow me down, but it was just making me stronger, you know?
Yep. Well, I mean, you know, yeah, it's tries what it can. But yeah, Slaanesh is great fun. I do very much like the lore of Slaanesh. I think the lore of Shadows is definitely stronger. Lore of Shadows is nuts right now. But lore of Slaanesh is very, very good for comboing with Slaanesh's specific mechanics. Like, it's got this big leadership debuff nuke, which is awesome on your Lord, because every Slaanesh Lord has an ability where if your leadership is too low, they start having a Mortis Engine effect on you. So they literally start killing you. So if you time that right, you can just, like, set off a bomb of damage using that spell. I think it's Phantasmagoria. And then there's another spell that I can't remember what the name of it is off the top of my head that is like a must-have, which is one of your first spells with your lords. And I think it's a lure or something. But it's like you pick a unit and they get minus a bunch of melee defense and minus speed. So your character can literally just walk up and beat the shit out of them. And on Nakari, it's OP in my opinion, because Nakari has a unique ability where he also lowers their melee defense and melee attack. And if you stack the two of them together, it lowers your melee defense by like 50. Nakari will just rip your butt in half. It's nasty. It's very nasty.
Oh God, sorry.
You all right?
Yeah. It's exhaustion keeping up on me. But yeah, no. I mean, the army's pretty good. The keepers themselves are really powerful too, especially once you start getting the full monsters with every single spell unlocked. Like just running through that realm of chaos, getting those Storm of Magic battles with a bunch of keepers of secrets is glorious.
Yeah, stacking wizards is really spooky in the realm of chaos.
The cultist is good. My issue is the cultist mount is too slow. Because it should be on a steed. Let's be honest. She should be on a steed.
I don't understand. The cultists are tricky for me because I'm not sure I understand what they're going for. As far as like they're in this demon roster, and they're clearly meant to not be like powerhouses, right? Yeah. You know, they're clearly meant to be like just hardcore support. But it is odd that they're like purely limited to chaos steeds. Like I understand certain, like I could see like with Khorne, yeah, no, Juggernaut's probably too much.
I would love him on a Juggernaut because he's quite a melee house.
I think that's too strong for what they're going for. Like I don't know, like I understand why they don't have the unique mounts, because like they're kind of there. They're literally there to summon for you. Yeah. Like, that's their only purpose. Like, Tzeentch, yeah, it gives you access to fire magic. But, with Khorne, you can get a pretty powerful guy who's, like, actually really good at fighting. But, like, generally speaking, for all of them, you're really just, they're there just for the, like, you're there to get them to level 13 so they can summon a shitload of demons.
Yeah. It's just, I don't know, like, because she's squishy. She wears a bikini, you know. Though the Nurgle's one is very, very squishy. The Nurgle one just...
He does have regen, though.
He does have regen, but, like, if he gets bogged down, he's screwed. Whereas, like, the Slaanesh one, she can kill out characters. She's a duelist. The Khornate one, like, he can throw out some serious damage. And obviously the Tzeentchian one with Lore of Fire, I mean, holy crap, you know, you've got Lore of Fire. That's an extra Lore of Magic so you can play around with.
Yeah. I mean, I could definitely see the argument. I feel like they're like intentionally trying to keep the cultists as basic as possible and be like, these are guys that do not get gifts from the Dark Gods. They are literally like they are barely heroes. But so I can understand the point. I do wish the horses were more unique. Like if they're going to have Chaos Steeds, I do hope we get better Chaos Steed models at some point, because like, you know, if the Chaos Steed of Nurgle was like really nasty and stuff and like bloated and all this stuff, and the Chaos Steed of Slaanesh was like super sleek and all this crap, then I would be totally fine with that.
Yeah.
I think right now what's kind of weird, like what kind of is off-putting about it is that it's clearly, you know, it's the issue a lot of people have with like the Forsaken and the Chaos Spawn and stuff.
Yeah, well, I pointed out on my roster video, like, because it's the same horse. If you look at the steed of, if you look at the Slaaneshi cultist on it, her feet goes through the, like through the actual barding.
Oh yeah, it's got some clipping.
Yeah, and it's like, it's disappointing because it looks nice in the purple color and so on, but like, it should be a Seeker. I'm sorry, it should be a Seeker.
Yeah, I can see the argument.
Yeah.
But I think we both can agree Slaanesh is pretty awesome.
Yeah, definitely.
I didn't think I was going to be very into Slaanesh, and I'm honestly having a really good time. I think I'm honestly having more fun with Slaanesh than the other three, at least so far. I love Nurgle, but I've been having a really hard time with Nurgle.
Nurgle, I've been following what Monsters Abound said, which was literally just go in the realm of Slaanesh, come out with the money, and then you're golden.
Yeah, maybe that's what I really need to try. But but it's like, man, that's something that sounds like they kind of need to fix. Like I feel like his buildings are too expensive. But we went over that a lot last week.
Yeah.
So in any event, next thing on the docket is future speculation. There we go.
There we go.
So there is something. There's one thing I want to address. And then there's another, and then we're going to kind of get into it. Which the thing I wanted to address is something that's been asked a lot of me and Nathan, and it's coming a lot in a lot of communities and stuff, has been about Mr. Hall. Obviously, our podcast was not the only thing he appeared on. He also appeared on a podcast, or a little interview, whatever you want to call it, with Italian Spartacus, which is great. However, one thing that came up during that podcast was he got asked about future DLC. And his answer was basically something along the lines of that, like, oh, you know, Koresh and all this stuff, it's never going to happen. It's never going to happen. Like, never Koresh, never Nippon, never End and all this stuff. And I did want to address it because I get asked a lot about it. And I want to say that, obviously, me and Nathan genuinely, deeply have no freaking idea what's going on at the Creative Assembly.
At all.
However, that being said, we do think, or I think, I'm not going to wrap Nathan up in this, I think that it's very, very important to point out that there is literally zero circumstances where Andy Hall would have said anything else.
Yeah.
Even if he was... Oh, go ahead.
It's, while I'm still getting to know CA... it's kind of logical to note that no gaming company is ever going to tell you what's coming next. Because CA have made that mistake already before. You remember Northern Lords?
Yeah, and that's the thing, is that if he came out during that interview and he said, oh yeah, we're thinking about doing it, or like, oh, maybe, you know, if he said anything other than no, then every single damn person would go, oh shit, they're doing it, oh shit, they're doing it, and everyone would start freaking out. And then let's say for some reason one of those doesn't happen, like maybe for whatever reason they don't do Nippon, like they just can't get it in, people would be fucking furious. So it's a lose-lose. Like there's no circumstance where that's a good thing for them. So of course he's gonna say no, it's never gonna happen, because best case scenario they go, haha, we lied, here it is, and everyone's gonna be thrilled. Like literally no one would be upset.
Yeah.
Whereas worst case scenario, they don't do it, and we go, you know, well, they told us they weren't going to do it, so it's not a big deal.
Yeah.
So,
and someone just pointed something out on my chat, which makes a lot of sense. They also said Boris Ursus was dead. Twice.
Yeah, they were very, which, you know, technically was, but, like, you know, they're going to bullshit y'all. Like, and CA, listen, I love CA. I love them very much. But as a company, they have this really weird thing where they're, like, I've dealt with a couple of gaming companies in my time, and CA is definitely the weirdest when it comes to, they are super uncomfortable with, like, people knowing anything far in advance.
I think they're just super uncomfortable in general.
they're basically like, if CA was a person, they would have permanent wet socks. That's just the life they live. But they actively try so hard to keep the community in the dark as much as possible, probably due to bad experiences in the past. And it's just the way it is. Like, I'm not saying whether it's good or bad, it's just the way it is.
Yeah.
So to everyone out there that's like, oh my god, my life is over, I'm so sad, I really wanted End, or I really wanted the Naga of Koresh and all this stuff, and now it's not happening, dude, chill. Like, it's not over till the fat lady sings, man.
in the most... so I can explain it in two different ways, and also there's a quote here from someone called Raw Qualifier said, apparently Lionheart had interviewed CA back in 2017 asking for Vampire Coast, and they said no. Look, we ended up getting them. So
plans change.
Yeah, plans change. You never know. The thing is, like, I'll tell you very... Like, I don't have a lot of experience with CA, because obviously this is kind of still new to me. But from a long time, I've been following games like, say, for example, World of Warcraft, where shit leaks constantly. And they deny it. They flat out deny it, and so on. Like, look, how close are we to 10.0? And we know that, like, there's going to be dragon themed at this point for the next WoW expansion. It's just literally that. They're not going to tell you, oh yeah, down the line we've got this. Now, they have confirmed, I'm not sure if you saw this, Sotek, but CA Ben did confirm on the Discord that they will give out a roadmap soon for everyone. Now, that roadmap is not... It's just going to be for this year, 2022. We're in 2022, right? Yeah, we are.
Who cares anymore, right?
But one thing that I was having a bit of a heated discussion with a lot of people, because they were like, oh yeah, the roadmap's going to say everything. No, it's not going to say race pack.
They're not going to reveal everything.
Yeah,
they don't do that.
It might just say DLC for this quarter, DLC for that, or free updates, blah, blah, blah. But it's not going to say specifics. You don't know... Like, we don't know what's going to come out. You don't know what's going to come out.
Yeah. Y'all remember the old roadmaps where it was super fucking vague?
Yeah.
It's probably going to be the same thing.
Exactly.
Or, like, a slight iteration on that.
Yeah. It's really important. It's really important not to get too hyped up. Look, I feel like we might get it in the future. There have been in-game hints to suggest for Ind and so on. But you never know. Keep in mind there's a few factors, right? Obviously, if the game's still making money. Right? That's a big factor. Then there's also if GW want to do it or not, which is the biggest factor.
Which, based on Warhammer: The Old World, seems likely.
Yeah.
And like, I'll be frank. I'm full on team. Like, I think we're getting... Like, I am full on... They're going to do everything eventually. Mm-hmm. And hey, that's what Andy Hall said on our podcast.
Yeah.
He said, we'll get everything in eventually. Now, what he meant by that is a matter of debate. But, you know?
I see it this way. I see that maybe this year, this is pure speculation, we'll get maybe, say, Chaos Dwarves are like a given, because, I mean, the territories are there.
Yeah, Chaos Dwarves are a safe bet.
Yeah. Maybe a few different Lord packs, because it obviously makes sense. It depends on how fast they want to be with DLC, because obviously DLC for the end of Warhammer 2's life cycle was kind of slowed down. However, that's pandemic related, and we don't know exactly how UK and CA themselves are dealing with stuff at the moment, you know? So, Chaos Dwarves, maybe, say 2 or 3 Lord packs, maybe? Because that kind of makes sense.
Yeah, though, honestly, I'm so done with Lord packs.
Yeah.
Like, I hate them. Like, I don't like them. I've been saying this, and I need to make a video about it. I think they're terrible. Because always, every single time, one race gets a great... most of the time, one race gets a great DLC, the other race gets a crap DLC.
Yeah.
We've had a few rare circumstances where both races got a crap DLC, but it's never worth it, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I think it would be so much better to focus on a single race, or to do a very strict theme that is a multiple races, but it's a very narrow theme, like monsters.
Yeah.
So they do like 4 to 10 monsters in a pack.
Yeah.
Or legendary heroes. Give us a group of legendary heroes. But like they've never, ever a single time pulled off a good Lord pack.
At all.
As far as like it was fully baked.
Yeah. I mean, no. Because yes in a way, but no in a way, because obviously Twisted in the Twilight was really, really good, barring the issue that the sisters had.
Well, they had to fix it.
Yeah.
They had to fix it.
Yeah.
And so it wasn't.
But it was attached to the free update, which was the Wood Elf rework, and the Wood Elf rework was actually quite enjoyable. I like playing Wood Elves now, you know, in Warhammer 2.
Yeah, and granted, that DLC, really, the only reason that DLC stuck the landing is because the Skaven got, like, an amazing amount of shit. Because the Skaven always gets spoiled for some reason. And then the Wood Elves came out, and the issues that the DLC had, they fixed.
Yeah.
Because the community threw a huge fit about it.
Yeah. Like, I think out of all the DLC, keep in mind that we're probably referencing more Warhammer 2, because Warhammer 2 is...
Yeah. I want to say, I'm not saying all the DLCs have absolute garbage sides.
Yeah.
But like Warden and the Paunch, it was okay. Like the Goblin side was amazing, but the High Elf side was pretty lacking.
Yeah.
Like the monster, the Arcane Phoenix, is basically just a reskin with very, very minor assets. We didn't get like a Merworm or anything super exciting. And Eltharian's mechanic is good, but it's also pretty buggy at sometimes. And it also stops work. It basically falls off by the end of the campaign.
Yeah.
Like if you're playing Mortal Empires, you will end up gathering like a ton of his unique resource, and you'll have literally nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's half baked.
Yeah.
It's half baked.
It's a weird thing. I would prefer singular stuff, like you said. Like, I would love if, say, for example, they just decided to go, we're going to focus on Empire. Bring in maybe 2 Legendary Lords for Empire and a few different units and so on, because that would be kind of cool. Because Empire does kind of need a rework again, I'll be very honest. Now that I'm looking at the mechanics from Game 3 perspective, where I'm looking at the demons and Cafe and Kizza, I'm like, ooh, Empire could do with a little bit more flavor, you know? Dwarves definitely need it.
Yeah, everything's gonna need a bit tweaking.
Yeah.
And the Empire is a little weird because like they had a great update compared to what they were, but it's also not fully like it's also kind of half baked.
Yeah.
Like you play the Empire and it's like, oh, I have this system where I can influence the other electric counts, like the High Elves, but only the electric counts. And it's like I feel like this system is supposed to do something, and it doesn't. It's very strange.
Yeah, it becomes a bit of an issue when, because after you've unified the Empire, you basically don't need to use authority anymore and so on.
Yeah, your mechanics kind of fall apart.
It's odd, like, because they're in a good place. Like, they are powerful. Let's be honest, the Empire, you know,
that's a great campaign. It's a great campaign. It just you're right. There are some points where if you look at it from a distance, you go, "That's amazing." But when you pick it up and look, you go, "Oh, there's a couple cracks in this."
Yeah.
Like they're not awful cracks. They're just noticeable cracks.
Yeah. Like there are other factions that do need a bit more help. The vampire counts definitely need something to make them a bit more unique now, because they've kind of fallen.
Well, it's like vampires. The Bloodlines thing is awesome, but it should be way more significant.
Yeah, close but no cigar.
You know, necromancers need a really big tune-up. Master necromancers and necromancers to make them really fun and competitive.
Yeah.
You know, honestly, we need more bloodline legendary lords. You know, Neferata and Vorag, Bloody Tooth, and those guys. You know, we need like dwarfs. You know, give me dwarf undercities.
Yeah.
You know, like how people build outposts. Let me, as the dwarfs, let me have an undercity that I can like build the lower deeps.
Yeah, because everyone can now have an outpost or a cult or something, you know?
Yeah, so like let dwarves do their own thing to their own bases. You know, with like there's things to do.
Yeah.
There's things to do. That being said, don't get us wrong. We're not saying like the game's in a horrible state.
Oh no,
like the game is in a fantastic state. It's just we're getting to that point where it's like this is looking really good, but it's really time to break out the polish.
Yeah, because obviously keep in mind that when it comes from our point of view, we've already we've seen the factions, we've done our videos, we've done our overviews and so on. There's a few more to come out tomorrow, and that's it. And then we, as creators, tend to try and look to the future because there's a lot of things that could be done because we're thinking, let me guess, you're doing the same as me. You're thinking about, in the future, combined map, because that means these races, like, they need to fix. The lizard men need a fix. I want to see lizard men being playable, man, but I have no fun playing them.
Don't even bring up the lizard men right now.
Yeah.
The lizardmen are so bad. I literally think the lizardmen are down there with like Warriors of Chaos and Norska.
Yeah.
Like it is bad.
Yeah.
Like there's specific aspects of it that are fun, just like with the Warriors of Chaos and Norska, but like, oh my god, I think it's awful.
Well, they've had what, 2 DLC, 3 DLCs?
3.
3.
And they were all garbage.
And it's because obviously Nakai is just bleh. Oxyolo's fun. Oxyolo's very fun.
Oxyolo's fun, but it's half baked.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't actually matter, and it's so easy that even on legendary difficulty you will never be at risk of actually being. It should have been full XCOM.
Yeah.
It should have been just like Mantlore had a great review on it. It should have been full. If you aren't getting these things done, they're going to make the final battle a lot harder, or they're going to be buffing chaos across the world and all crazy shit. Oxyolo's campaign is fun, but it's it's the moment you see through that veil of you're actually not at threat of anything, it's super fucking boring.
Yeah. It's one of those things, because obviously they do well. Like, for example, obviously, we had a little minor Skaven rework when the Vampire Coast came out, because everyone was saying, oh, we want that cove mechanic, but to be Undercities. And that's influenced Game 3 too, because keep in mind that we didn't have Undercities before, it was just coves, and that's then become this, and that's now become the Chaos Cults, and so on and so forth. But there's so much that can be done for certain races that desperately need a little bit of help. I mean, the Dark Elves need help, but I imagine that the Dark Elves, or at least I hope, like literally knock, like you can't see my hands because of the green screen, but knock on wood, there's like, if we get Chaos Dwarves this year, there's likely going to be a change to slavery. At least I hope that mechanic gets updated, because it's kind of stupid at the moment, and that obviously should affect Dark Elves in the future, because the Dark Elves are kind of weird at the moment, you know?
Like we said, fine-tuning.
Yeah.
And literally, every single race, I genuinely think every single race is enjoyable, but there are some races that are notably less enjoyable than others, and some that if you hold them up to scrutiny, you start to notice problems.
Yeah.
And that's all we're saying. It's like, we're not saying, this is bad, it sucks, they need to fix it, or it sucks. We're saying, man, these are the things we really hope they do in the future.
Yeah. I mean, it's the same...
I just want to get that across.
Yeah. Obviously, this is just us like speculating and so on. It's the same thing as when we said, yeah, hopefully we'll see Ind, hopefully we'll see Koresh. There's reasons to believe that we might see that, but it's just a case of we have to wait and see, because everything, like, this game is hopefully going to have a decent amount of lifespan. Like, Warhammer 2 was what, 5 years?
They're publicly saying like many years.
Yeah.
Like they're literally saying like we're supporting the Warhammer 3 for many years, which means more than 3.
So hopefully that means that we'll get a decent amount of DLC, and time can wait. I am patient. I don't have to have, say, for example, Ind this year. I can wait till 3 because
no, I don't like. Give me Chaos Dwarfs this year, and I'm good.
Yeah,
like or race packs, I'm good.
Yeah, because like as much as the race packs are very, very exciting, let's fix up all the other crap, because we're likely, hopefully, getting the combined map this year. So let's fix up all the ones that need fixing before we start bringing more shit into the pot, you know? Because
they're not going to do that, but yeah. There's no way they're going to do that.
At all. I don't have high hopes. I mean, I have high hopes right now that since there's a certain number of races in Game 3, because obviously there's a Lizardman faction, there's Dwarfs, there's Empire, Vampires, there's Norskins, there's Chaos Warriors.
It's everybody except Tomb Kings, High Elves, and Dark Elves.
Yeah. So there's enough to fix in there.
And Vampire Coast. And Vampire Coast.
Yeah, but they can show up.
There are 4 races that like you can encounter them in like quest battles or like in ocean events, but they're not like on the map. Like they don't have. There's no factions for them.
Yeah. It just. So those are the factions that need the most help anyway, so we would likely see them get a little bit of a fix and go from there. Like, I think Vampire Coast is fine. Let's be honest,
I think Warriors of Chaos and Norska need to go first.
Oh,
once they're good, we can we can start messing with all these other guys.
Like, holy crap. But yeah, no, I think it's just I get the speculation and so on. Like, everyone's really hyped. It's the same thing like I see often. Like, funny enough, it's been mentioned in my chat a few times. Oh, I want Hobgoblins. I mean, you will, because...
What is... I still don't... Maybe I just, like, grossly underestimate how many people love, like Attila the Hun and the whole Mongolian Empire thing, but it's like, man, there are a lot of people that love the Hobgoblin Khanate. Like, there are a lot of people that love the Hobgoblin Khanate.
Well, it's become such a thing, because obviously GW follow the meme, right?
It's basically the squats of fantasy at this point.
Yeah. But even GW put a little hint about them in the fucking Old World maps, too.
Yeah, the Hobhounds.
Yeah. It's like, how popular? Like, you guys know these are just goblins, right? Like, they're tall, lanky goblins, but like...
I mean, I can see it, though. Like, a part of my brain, like, the idea of, like, these roving giant wolf-pulled, like, cities that maybe have, like, complex war machines and stuff on them. Like, I could kind of see it.
Yeah.
A part of me is like, oh, that's kind of cool. But I don't know how you make a faction out of that, to be honest.
I would
like
say...
a sub-faction, sure. Like a Chaos Dwarf sub-faction led by a Hobgoblin Legendary Lord, that I could totally see.
I could see it done kind of like Elfarion does, because, Elfarion's Mistwalkers are just reskins, right? A bit of textures
Fancy
and so
reskins, but yeah.
So I could see it as Chaos Dwarf, you get like maybe 3 or 4 Legendary Lords, depending on the situation, because obviously the map is kind of small. 4?
Better be 4. It's gotta be 4. Has to be 4.
Well,
we have a system. It's gotta be 4.
Yeah, but I'm cool with, say, for example, just like, hear me out.
How dare you?
And a Hobgoblin faction.
Sacrilege! Boo this man! Boo him!
No, but like, you get, say, for example, 3 or 4, either way is fine, and then a Hobgoblin Legendary Lord who only has access to Hobgoblin units, and then a few reskins to give him, like, Mistcaller style, so they would look fairly unique. And then you go, full Hobgoblin faction, and you've got your fucking Hobgoblin Incarnate.
Well, that's what I've been thinking, is that, like, you get 3 Chaos Dwarf Lords, and then you get a Hobgoblin Lord, yeah.
Yeah, but not a Hobgoblin with a bloody Dreadquake, right?
Well, maybe they could make it like they could do it like a Skarsnik scenario where he doesn't get access to Chaos Dwarf stuff unless he does a specific, like, he has to, like, take Zarnagrand or something. Like, he's got to, like, rise up against the Chaos Dwarfs. I would play the shit out of that campaign. That'd be hilarious.
Yeah, no, I mean, that could work too. Like, I would, I think everyone would be happy with that. Like, I know a lot of people, like, I see it every single day. People are, like, hyped and so on, which, I think shouldn't, like, everyone wait until, like, at least past the 17th?
No, the hype train stops for there are no stops on the hype train. It goes until it crashes.
Yeah.
That's how it works.
But, like, there's obviously a lot of speculation, because obviously after we spoke to Andy, there was a Reddit forum post about the interview.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, and let me pick it up. Let me just...
No, I don't even want to know. What? Oh, God.
It's just, it's nothing too bad, but it was literally titled All Legendary Lords teased by Andy.
They're doing everything! Confirmed!
Yeah. I was like, guys, not confirmed. However, like, you never know for the future. Like, Thankwell we know is coming. Like, I'm pretty sure CA would have to build a compound around their headquarters if they never released Thankwell. Because...
Damn, look at fucking the boy, our dear lovely friends who are working on the Koresh art posted a new model.
They're very,
Magic
very,
artillery feats. God, man, they're so good.
They are very, very talented.
How dare they be so talented?
Yeah.
Rude lads.
But yeah, so if we go by this list, we've got like Thankwell. Okay. Thankwell we know is pretty much coming. Then the Baba Yaga thing. So it's not Baba Yaga, now it's Mother Ostrankia. Yeah, she's stinky. But we know she's in lore, we just don't know if she'll be a character. I hope so, because I and I think you too are very, very curious about what has changed for the Ungles, right?
Oh yeah. I need her quick.
Yeah. So it would be cool, but that's fine. Next, Nagash. Okay. This is something we need to talk about. He said that we are in that timeline, because we are. We're in the 8th edition timeline. I do think that we'll get Nagash, because I know that Nagash will make money. Like just be honest. You sell Nagash.
I think Nagash is going to be one of the last things they do, though.
Yeah.
I think he's going to be like one of the big finales.
Yeah, because he would make stupid money. Like they could easily put Nagash behind the £20 slap, with a few Morghast, the Dread Abyssals, and a few certain characters to kind of just give it a little bit of much. And there you go. Like, he will make money. He will get money. He will get loads of money.
Yeah, Morghast, man. Give me that. Oh, man.
Hellborg, the reason why we asked, it was just because we've seen other devs.
We literally asked him what his favorite character was. That's all we did. That was it. That was all Hellborg was.
Yeah, he said that he'd love to see Hellborg in the game and so on. And to be honest, I would too. I think he's got one of the coolest miniatures in the Empire roster from the 8th edition army book.
Yeah, plus, like, what's the Empire without the Reichsmarschall? Nothing,
Exactly.
That's what. Nothing. It's trash.
But it doesn't outright confirm it. I mean, I would love it. Like, we need a Legendary Heroes pack for sure. Like, holy crap, Next was Monkey King. I mean, we're getting Monkey King. Let's just be honest.
We're getting the Monkey King.
Yeah.
There's, like... they're doing a lot of work to keep a lot of his stuff hidden.
Yeah.
Where they have like all the propaganda about what he looks like. Like we don't know what he looks like. We don't know what his name is.
Yeah.
They're keeping all that secret because they're gonna do him. That's all it is.
Like we whether we want the Monkey King or not, we're getting the Monkey King. You know. Like,
Yeah, I would literally bet one of my organs we're getting the Monkey King.
Yeah.
That's how confident I am.
And the last one is Festus. I mean, eventually we're gonna have to wait for like more characters for Nurgle.
What? Okay, why Festus specifically?
Oh, it was from this post. We did mention Festus.
From the okay. Sorry,
Yeah.
I didn't realize you were reading the. I thought you were just like naming your thoughts.
No.
Why? Like of all the Warriors of Chaos, you go with Festus?
No. This is from the post because obviously Andy mentioned Festus for something, and yeah,
Gash. So sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. At the same time that he mentioned Nagash, I think.
Yeah. Oh, we were talking about him. I brought up Festus a couple times.
Yeah.
As a example of some of my favorite storytelling. Would Nagash be a vampire or Tomb King? Nagash would probably be his own unique thing.
Yeah, like legions of Nagash.
He'll just use all. Yeah, he'll probably just be like undead, undead legions. No. I think was his end times faction.
Yeah, but and we could see him done really well because obviously if they use like some stuff from like say for example Total War Saga Troy, which once again a little reminder you should try out the game at one point. Sotek.
Shut up! Get out! Leave me alone.
There is a really cool mechanic where when you get one of the mythical beasts in your faction, it then adds new buildings into your construction tree.
Ah, yeah, that'd be cool.
So imagine like you start off as Nagash with very limited roster. You then take over a Tomb King, and then you get Tomb King units, and then you take over.
Yeah, that'd be hot. Like you play Nagash, and you have to like break all the undead to your will. I would be so down.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be super great. And of course, Nagash would probably be one of the most OP characters in the game once you got him up and running.
Yeah.
Dude's got so many damn magic items.
Yeah.
But we're out of time. We are pretty much past time. However, before we go, I have a very exciting announcement. For LOREBEARDS in our future. Nathan, I sent it to you so you can show it on your screen. We have.
Wait.
It's in Discord.
Where?
Look in our Discord chat.
Oh.
You might have to like blot your screen for a second.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Oh, give me a second.
I'm gonna pull it up on my.
Oh God.
We have official LOREBEARDS artwork.
There we go.
It's beautiful.
I think people can see it.
I will be posting this, an image of it. This will be our thumbnails from now on.
Mm-hmm.
And there's also a version for my brain just short-circuited. The podcast version, there's a square version. And I will be working with this artist quite a bit in the future. But it's beautiful. It's wonderful. You can tell which of us is which. It's great. I lost my arm. Don't ask. We've got the Chloeodon. We got Nathan's cats have fused into a saber tusk. And there's a lot of fun Easter eggs. You can see like a Chaos Dwarf hat. There's minis in the background. There's a Skaven lurking in the bottom left. It's absolutely delightful. It's delightful.
Yeah.
And you may think to yourself, wow, are you going to do anything with this? To which I say, yes, we will. Like a shirt or something. I have to figure out the details. But we will do something with it.
Yeah.
Because, I don't think do you do merch? I haven't done merch yet. Do you do merch yet?
I have not done much. I've always, I had a design for a dice, but, because of the COVID situation...
Me and Nathan are going to start figuring out how to do merch.
Yeah.
So we're going to start figuring that out. But in any event, we just wanted to show that it's very exciting. So you're going to be seeing this around. And I'll post it on Twitter soon with just some cute little notes. And, of course, the crediting the artist, who is a wonderful lad. And that's going to be it.
Yeah.
So thank you all so much for joining us today. That will be all for LOREBEARDS. We are past our time. Nathan, you got any big things coming up this week you want people to know about?
This week, well, obviously we have Ogre Kingdoms, the review, and so on dropping tomorrow. I'm not sure if the review will drop tomorrow, though, because I am very behind schedule.
Yeah, I hear that. My review is going to be super basic, is what it's going to be.
I am about an hour into mine. I'm almost done. It's just, there's so much stuff to do. And I have finally a checkup with my doctor to see if I do need the surgery or not, because I'm feeling much better. Look, I can, God, with this thing, you can't see my arm, but I can lift my arm, and that means I'm not in too much pain. Like it looks like physiotherapy is working for me, so I might not need to get cracked open and have my arm broken and reset.
That would probably be the preferred method. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not doing that. Yeah. Yeah, that sounds awful. Great.
What about you?
And much like Nathan, I will be, of course, streaming the hell of the Ogre Kingdom starting tomorrow. Probably the faction I'm the most excited for, to be honest. Review. I will have a review out tomorrow. At some point tomorrow. It's going to be very simple. It's literally going to be me staring at a camera and talking, because I don't have the time or want to pay someone to do all the editing. So it's just going to be me talking about my thoughts. So look forward to that. And we thank you all so much for joining us.
Oh, I forgot something. Sorry, because I have to do the promo for this. I am taking part in another sponsored stream with Creative Assembly. Myself, Monsters Abound, Nerd Rage Fred, Okoi, Cody Bonds, and Colonel Damders tomorrow on the official Twitch. So I will not be playing Ogres tomorrow. I will have Ogre videos.
What time?
Fuck.
Damn it, man! If you're gonna do self-advertisement, you gotta know the time.
Give me a sec. I'm gonna go on the thing.
We're over time.
5 p.m. UK time.
5 p.m. UK time. So that will be 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. To give some references on the Total War official channel. Please be sure to check that out wherever you may be. It should be insane. Good luck. I wish your internet's the best of luck. Yeah. But that's going to be our time for today. Thank you all again so much for joining us. If you missed it, we did do a fantastic LOREBEARDS podcast with Andy Hall on Friday. You can find it on our YouTube channels, and you can also find it on your favorite podcast streaming website, whether that's iTunes, Google Podcasts, Spotify, or what have you. LOREBEARDS is on those websites, so be sure to please check us out and like us or whatever the hell they do on those things. We would appreciate the support. So thank you all so much for watching. We'll see you guys next Sunday. And
no, you've got the tournament.
Oh yeah, well,
we'll make an announcement.
Stay tuned. We'll figure it out. See you guys next time. Thanks so much for watching. Bye, guys. Bye.